Christmas night, cold eyes, and a lie that changed everything. I never planned to meet a stranger on Christmas Eve, and I definitely never planned to fall into a story that would rip my heart open, stitch it back together, then tear it apart all over again. But that night had other plans. The city was dressed up like it cared. Lights everywhere, fake cheer hanging from street poles, couples laughing too loud, pretending everything in their lives was perfect. Meanwhile, the cold didn't give a damn. It cut straight through my coat, through my bones, straight into the parts of me already hurting. I was standing outside the cafe on 7th Street, pretending I wasn't waiting, pretending I wasn't already disappointed. That's when I saw him. He was sitting on the sidewalk near the corner, an old man, maybe late 60s, wrapped in a thin, worn-out coat that looked like it had lost every battle it ever fought. His shoes were scuffed, his hands cracked from cold, his eyes tired in a way you only get after life's knocked you down too many times. People passed him like he was invisible. Some looked. Most didn't. I tried not to stare. I told myself not to care. I told myself I had my own problems, like the fact that my boyfriend was late on Christmas Eve again. Still, something about him made my chest tighten. I walked over without even thinking. "Here," I said softly, holding out my scarf. "You look freezing." He looked up, surprised, like kindness wasn't something he expected anymore. "And you?" he asked gently. "Aren't you cold?" "I'm fine," I lied. "Are you waiting for someone?" "Yes," he said, then paused. "Or maybe no one at all." That hit harder than it should have. We talked. Not deep stuff. Just enough. He told me he didn't have family nearby. I told him I was supposed to have dinner with my boyfriend. Supposed to. When my phone finally buzzed, my stomach dropped before I even read the message. Emergency meeting. Can't make dinner. Work comes first. Of course it does, Paul. It always does. I stared at the screen, humiliation burning hotter than the cold. I looked up and realized the old man was watching me. Not nosy, just understanding. "They came for me," he said quietly, standing up. "Take care of yourself, miss." And just like that, he was about to disappear back into the crowd. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was anger, maybe loneliness, maybe the sick feeling of realizing I was about to spend Christmas Eve alone while my boyfriend chose his career over me. Again. "Wait," I blurted out. "Do you want to have dinner with me?" He froze. "With you?" he asked, almost laughing. "Miss, I'm homeless. And I'm alone," I snapped. "Seems fair." He hesitated, eyes searching my face like he was afraid I'd change my mind. "I don't mind how you look," I added quickly. "I swear." He looked down at his clothes, then back at me. "Well," he said slowly, "if you're serious, I'd be honored." I don't know why, but my heart raced like I was doing something dangerous. I pulled a garment bag from my purse, one I hadn't planned to open tonight. "I bought this for my boyfriend," I said, my voice shaking. But plans change. Inside was a suit. Clean. Elegant. Way too nice for someone living on the streets. He stared at it like it was a joke. "Are you sure?" he asked. "No," I admitted. "But I don't want to be alone tonight." That's when he smiled. Not big, not flashy, just warm. "I'll be right back," he said. "I'll try it on." As he disappeared behind a nearby building, a strange feeling settled in my gut, like I just stepped onto a road I couldn't turn back from. A man nearby, clean-cut, sharp eyes, watched him go. "What you're doing is wrong," the man muttered. "Why?" I snapped. "Because he's not who you think he is." I laughed nervously. "He's just an old man." The stranger shook his head. "In games like this, someone always gets hurt." Before I could ask what he meant, the old man returned. And I swear, my breath caught. The suit fit him perfectly. Too perfectly. He stood taller, straighter, like someone who used to be important and just forgot. "You look," I stopped. "Wow." He smiled. "So do you." We walked into a fancy restaurant downtown, one I'd never been able to afford on my waitress salary. The hostess froze when she saw him. "Sir," she whispered. The waiter rushed over, suddenly nervous. "Mr. Bustamante, we weren't expecting." The old man gently interrupted. "Table for two, please." My heart started pounding. Why did they recognize him? Why were they treating him like royalty? I looked at him, confused. He met my eyes, and for just a second, I saw something dangerous there. Not poverty. Power. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. I didn't know who this man really was, and whatever lie I just walked into, it was already too late to turn back. The table where envy was born. The moment we sat down, I knew something was off. Not just off, wrong in a way that makes your skin prickle before your brain catches up. The waiter's hands shook as he placed the menus in front of us. He kept calling the old man sir, lowering his voice like he was afraid someone might overhear. The manager hovered nearby, pretending to check a tablet while watching us like we were a ticking bomb. I leaned in, whispering, "Do you come here a lot?" The old man chuckled softly. "Not in a long time." That answer didn't calm me. Still, I pushed the feeling down. I wasn't about to ruin the only dinner I'd had planned in weeks. I ordered the Christmas special. He told me to order whatever I wanted, his treat. That should have been my second warning. Across the room, I felt it before I saw it. That stare. Sharp, cold, female. I glanced up and caught a woman watching us, mid-50s, designer coat, perfect hair, lips tight with judgment. She wasn't curious. She was offended. Like my presence at that table personally insulted her. She leaned toward the man sitting beside her, whispering furiously. He glanced at us, then back at her, shrugging like he didn't care. That only made her angrier. I looked down at my napkin, suddenly aware of everything about myself. My cheap dress, my tired eyes, the fact that I didn't belong in a place like this. Or so she thought. "Do you know her?" I asked quietly. The old man followed my gaze, then smiled faintly. "No, but she thinks she knows me." That made zero sense. The waiter returned. "Your usual, sir." The room went silent. "My usual," the old man said calmly. "And whatever the lady wants." The woman across the room stiffened. "Usual?" She stood up so fast her chair scraped the floor. Whispers started. She walked straight to our table, heels clicking like a countdown. "Excuse me," she said, her voice dripping with forced politeness. "But this is highly inappropriate." I blinked. "I'm sorry?" She didn't look at me. Not once. Her eyes were locked on him. "You think this is funny?" She snapped. "Showing up like this? With her?" The air turned heavy. "I'm just having dinner," the old man replied. "With a waitress?" She sneered, finally flicking her gaze toward me. "How festive." That word burned. I opened my mouth, but she kept going. "You humiliate people for sport now?" she said. "Is this another one of your little games?" I stood up. My hands shook, but my voice didn't. "You don't get to talk to me like that." She laughed, short, cruel. "Sweetheart, you don't even know who you're sitting with." The old man's eyes hardened. "That's enough." She leaned closer. Tell her who you are." My heart slammed against my ribs. "Tell me what?" I asked. Before anyone could answer, another voice cut in. "Is there a problem here?" A man in a tailored suit approached. Confident, expensive, familiar in a way I didn't like. Paul. My ex, his eyes moved from me to the old man, then back to me. He smirked. "Well, this is a downgrade," he said. "Couldn't even wait a week before dragging some homeless guy to dinner?" The woman beside him, now I knew who she was, wrapped her arm around his. "Don't embarrass yourself," she whispered loudly. "This man plays dress up to feel important." My face burned. My chest ached. The old man stood up slowly. "You should apologize," he said calmly. Paul laughed. "To you?" "No," he replied. "To her." The manager rushed over, pale. "Sir, please." Paul waved him off. "Relax, I'll handle this." He turned to me. "This is what you choose now? Charity dates?" That's when something inside me snapped. "I chose respect," I said, "something you never had." The woman's eyes flared, pure jealousy, raw and ugly. "You think he's special?" she hissed. "He's nothing." The old man met her gaze. "Then leave," he said. Paul scoffed. "You don't get to tell us what to do." The old man didn't raise his voice. "I own this place." Silence crashed down. Plates stopped clinking. Breathing stopped. Paul's face drained of color. The woman's mouth opened, then closed. The manager nodded stiffly. "Yes, sir." I stared at the man beside me, the homeless man, the liar, the stranger. "What did you just say?" I whispered. He looked at me, something like regret flickering in his eyes. "I told you," he said softly. "I wasn't who you thought I was." And across the room, the woman who mocked me realized too late her jealousy had just exposed her. The truth tastes bitter. I wish I could say I handled the truth with grace. I didn't. The moment those words left his mouth, "I own this place," something shattered inside me. Not loudly, not dramatically. It broke the way glass does when it's already cracked. Silently, dangerously. The restaurant felt smaller. Too many eyes, too many whispers. I could feel them judging me, reevaluating me, rewriting the story they thought they understood. Paul looked like someone had punched him in the throat. His jaw hung open, pride leaking out of every pore. The woman clinging to his arm, her went stiff, eyes darting around like she was looking for an exit that didn't exist. "You're lying," she finally said, her voice thin. The manager cleared his throat. "Ma'am, this is Mr. Daniel Carter, founder and majority owner." Boom. Her hand slipped from Paul's arm. Paul tried to laugh it off, but it came out wrong. "Okay, wow. Cute trick. You dress like a bum to mess with people now?" Daniel didn't look at him. His eyes were on me, and that hurt worse than anything else. "I didn't mean to embarrass you," he said quietly. I stood up so fast my chair almost fell. "Embarrass me?" I whispered. "You let me believe you were homeless." The room blurred. My throat burned. "You let me invite you to dinner because I thought you had nothing." Paul scoffed. "See? Even she gets it now." I turned on him like fire. "Shut up." That surprised everyone, including me. Daniel stepped closer. "I never asked you to feel sorry for me." "But you didn't stop me," I snapped. "You watched me give you a suit I bought with my tips. You watched me feel strong for once, like I was doing something good." Across the room, the jealous woman folded her arms, eyes sharp again. She loved this part, loved watching me crumble. "So what was I to you?" I asked. "An experiment? A joke?" Daniel flinched. "No," he said. "You were real." I laughed, bitter. "Real? You don't even know me." "I know you're kind," he said. "I know you don't look down on people. I know you defended me when you thought I had nothing to offer." "That's the problem," I shot back. "I didn't choose you. I chose the version of you that needed me." Silence. Paul leaned toward me, lowering his voice. "Come on, let's go. You don't belong in his games." I looked at him, really looked. The smugness, the entitlement. The way he only wanted me now because someone richer had touched my life. "No," I said firmly, "I don't belong with you." The jealous woman snapped. "Don't flatter yourself. He'll be bored of you by morning." Daniel turned to her, voice ice cold. "You should leave." "This isn't over," she hissed. "It is," he replied. Security appeared, polite but unyielding. Paul tried to argue, but his voice cracked. When they were gone, the room exhaled. I grabbed my coat. "I'm leaving," I said. Daniel nodded. "I understand." That stung more than if he'd begged me to stay. Outside, the cold slapped my face, grounding me. Christmas lights flickered above like they were mocking me. Perfect little lies. I walked fast, trying not to cry. "Wait," he called. I stopped but didn't turn. "I should have told you," he said. "I started that night trying to feel human again. I didn't expect you." I faced him then. "You don't get to discover yourself using other people." "You're right," he said softly. "And I'm sorry." I wanted to scream. I wanted to hug him. I wanted to disappear. "I don't want your apology," I said. "I want to forget this ever happened." He nodded. "If that's what you need." We stood there, two strangers again. A taxi pulled up. I opened the door, then hesitated. "Don't follow me," I said. "I won't," he promised. As the car pulled away, I looked back once. He was standing there alone, lights reflecting off the suit I'd given him, looking like a man who finally understood the cost of deception. And somewhere deep inside me, something dangerous stirred, because even through the anger, even through the humiliation, I couldn't deny it. I'd felt something real, and I hated myself for it. It has a memory. I didn't sleep that night, not even for a minute. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw his face, calm, controlled, wounded in a way money couldn't fix. And right behind that image came hers, the woman in heels and sharp smiles, the kind of woman who didn't lose gracefully, the kind who kept score. By morning, my phone buzzed like it hated me. Unknown number. I ignored it. Then another, and another. By the fourth call, something in my gut twisted. I answered. "Is this Claire Morgan?" a woman's voice asked, smooth, polished, dangerous. "Yes," she exhaled, almost amused. "Good, I was hoping it was you." "Who is this?" A pause, just long enough to feel intentional. "My name is Vivian Cole." Of course it was, the jealous woman from the restaurant. My jaw tightened. "What do you want?" "I want to talk," she said, woman to woman. "I'm not interested." "Oh, but you should be," she replied calmly. "Because whether you like it or not, you're already part of my story." Click. She hung up. I stood there in my tiny kitchen, coffee going cold, hands shaking. That call wasn't curiosity. It was a warning. At work, I couldn't focus. Plates blurred, orders got mixed. My manager asked if I was sick. "I'm fine," I lied. But I wasn't, because jealousy doesn't scream at first, it studies. And Vivian was studying me. 2 days later, I saw Daniel again. I hadn't planned to. I was walking home, coat pulled tight, mind somewhere else, when a familiar black sedan slowed beside me. The window rolled down. "Claire," he said gently. I stopped. He didn't get out, didn't assume. That mattered. "I won't take much of your time," he said. "I just wanted to know, are you okay?" I laughed, sharp. "Do I look okay?" "No," he admitted. Silence stretched. "I heard from my assistant," he continued carefully, "that Vivian tried contacting you." My stomach dropped. "So you know." "Yes. And you didn't think to warn me?" "I didn't want to drag you deeper into this," he said. "Vivian doesn't let go easily." "That's an understatement." He looked tired, older than before, like the weight had finally landed. "She hates losing," he said, "especially to someone she can't control." I crossed my arms. "And who exactly did she lose to?" His eyes met mine. "You." That word hit harder than I expected. "I didn't win anything," I said. "Not money," he agreed, "but something she never had." "And what's that?" "Integrity." I scoffed. "That won't stop her." "No," he said quietly, "it won't." He handed me a card. "If she contacts you again, threatens you, pressures you, call this number. It's my attorney." I stared at the card like it might burn me. "I don't want to be protected," I snapped. "I want to be left alone." He nodded. "That's fair." Then, softer, "But whether you want it or not, she's jealous. And jealousy doesn't care about fairness." I hated that he was right. That night, the rumors started. At the diner, one of the girls leaned in. "So, is it true you're sleeping with some rich guy?" I froze. "What?" "Vivian Cole's been saying stuff," another added. "That you trapped him, that you're after his money." My chest burned. "That's a lie." "They always say that," the first girl shrugged. I went home early, locked the door, and cried harder than I had in years. Not because of Daniel, because of her. Because women like Vivian didn't just attack men, they destroyed other women to feel powerful again. The next morning, my manager called me into the office. "We got a complaint," she said carefully. "From who?" She slid a paper across the desk. "Vivian Cole. She accused me of harassment, of inappropriate behavior, of leveraging a personal relationship for financial gain." I laughed. Then I stopped when I saw my manager's face. "This is serious," she said. "Corporate doesn't like trouble." "So I'm trouble now?" She sighed. "Just be careful." I walked out shaking. Vivian wasn't jealous anymore. She was furious. That evening, Daniel showed up at my apartment. I didn't invite him. I almost didn't open the door. But when I saw his face, tight, protective, angry in a quiet way, I stepped aside. "She crossed a line," he said. "You think?" I snapped. "She's trying to scare you into disappearing." "Well, congratulations," I said bitterly. "It's working." He stepped closer. "Claire, look at me. I didn't want to. I won't let her hurt you." "There it is," I shot back. "That savior thing. I didn't ask for it." "No," he said firmly, "but I asked myself something." "What? Why's she so threatened by you?" I laughed without humor. "I'm a waitress. I live in a shoebox." "And yet," he said, eyes steady, "you walked away from me when you thought I was nothing." She never could. That shut me up. "You didn't compete," he continued. "You chose dignity. And that terrifies her." I turned away, heart pounding. "She's not done," I whispered. "No," he agreed, "but neither are you." I faced him. "I don't want to be brave. I want peace." He softened. "Sometimes you get peace after you refuse to be small." Silence. Then my phone buzzed again. Unknown number. I answered, voice steady. "Yes?" Vivian's voice purred through the speaker. "I hope you're enjoying the attention while it lasts." I looked straight at Daniel. "Funny," I said calmly. "So are you." Her breathing sharpened. "This isn't over." "I know," I replied, "but neither am I." I hung up. For the first time, fear wasn't the loudest thing in my chest. Something else was. Resolve. And somewhere deep inside, I realized the truth. Jealousy had started this war, but it wasn't going to finish it. It turns into revenge. Jealousy didn't break me, so Vivian upgraded. She went after my past. It started subtle, too subtle. A neighbor stopped me in the hallway. "Hey, random question, did you used to live in Fresno?" My stomach dropped. "Yeah, why?" She shrugged. "Someone was asking about you." That night, my phone blew up again. Not unknown numbers this time. Old ones, people I hadn't talked to in years. A girl from high school messaged, "Did you really steal a married man?" Another, "Didn't expect this from you, Claire." I stared at the screen, pulse racing. Vivian wasn't attacking my present anymore. She was rewriting my story. By morning, the internet had decided who I was. A gold digger, a manipulator, a nobody who got lucky. Someone had dug up an old photo of me at 19, cheap dress, bad makeup, broke smile, and posted it next to a headline, From Trailer Park to Billionaire Bait. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. Instead, I sat on the edge of my bed, hands shaking, chest tight. This wasn't gossip, this was execution by jealousy. Daniel showed up an hour later. He didn't knock, he pounded. I opened the door and broke. I didn't do anything, I sobbed. I didn't ask for this, I didn't chase you, I didn't lie. I know, he said instantly, pulling me into his arms. And just like that, the tears came harder. She's everywhere, I whispered into his jacket. I can't escape her. She wants you isolated, he said, ashamed, quiet. I pulled back. Why? Why is she doing this? His jaw tightened, because she built her whole identity on being untouchable. And I touched it? You shattered it. We sat at my tiny kitchen table like two people planning a crime scene cleanup. She's using influence, he said. PR firms, fake accounts, whisper networks. So what do we do? I asked. He looked at me carefully. We stopped playing defense. My heart skipped. What does that mean? It means you stop hiding. I laughed, bitter. You want me to fight her? I don't have money, lawyers, power. No, he said softly, but you have the truth. I stared at him. Truth doesn't go viral. He leaned forward. Not unless it's told right. That afternoon, Vivian crossed her biggest line. She contacted my mother. I found out when Mom called, voice trembling. Claire, she whispered, is it true you're involved in something? Shameful? That word sliced me open. No, I said firmly. Someone is lying. A very well-spoken woman called, Mom said. She said she was worried about you, that you'd changed. I closed my eyes. Vivian wasn't just jealous, she was cruel. That night, I didn't cry, I didn't shake. I opened my laptop, and I wrote, not an explanation, a confession. Where I came from, what I survived, how many times men with money looked through me like glass, how I walked away when I thought Daniel was just another broken old man. I didn't make myself look perfect, I made myself real. Daniel watched from the doorway. Once this is out, he said quietly, there's no undo button. I hit publish. Neither is there for her lies, I replied. It burned. Comments flooded in. Women, mostly women, older women, divorced women, women who'd been called names for refusing to be owned. She's jealous because you're authentic. Money can't buy character. I see myself in you. Vivian responded within an hour, a statement, cold, legal, polished, calling me unstable. That's when Daniel did something unexpected. He posted too, not defending me, admitting himself, that he'd misjudged me, that he'd underestimated dignity, that he'd once confused control for love. The internet smelled blood, and this time it wasn't mine. I got fired the next day. Corporate decision, my manager said, eyes down. I smiled. Good. I replied, I was getting tired of serving people who think respect is optional. I walked out lighter than I'd ever felt. Vivian took my job, but she lost control of the narrative, and that scared her. That night, my phone rang. Private number. I answered. Her voice wasn't smooth anymore. You think you won? Vivian hissed. No, I said calmly. I think you showed everyone who you are. This isn't over, I smiled. You already said that. Silence. Then quietly, venomously, you'll regret humiliating me. I leaned back, steady. No, I said. You regret being jealous of the wrong woman. I hung up. For the first time, I wasn't reacting. I was standing. And deep down, I knew. Vivian wasn't planning gossip anymore. She was planning revenge. And she went after what I loved. I should have known, women like Vivian don't lose gracefully, they escalate. It happened on a Tuesday, quiet day. Too quiet. Daniel was supposed to meet me for lunch. He didn't show. No call, no text. By 2 p.m., my chest felt tight. By 4, I was pacing. By 6, my phone finally rang. Hospital number. My knees gave out before I even answered. He collapsed during a board meeting, the nurse said. Stress-induced cardiac episode. He's stable. Stable. That word sounded fake, like a placeholder for disaster. I grabbed my coat and ran. Vivian was already there. Of course she was. Standing outside the ICU like she belonged there. Perfect hair, black dress, that calm predator look women get when they've already done the damage. She smiled when she saw me. That smile. God, I hated that smile. I was wondering how long it would take you, she said softly. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I walked right up to her and whispered, What did you do? She tilted her head. Still blaming me for everything? You went after him, I said. Didn't you? Her eyes flickered. Just for half a second. That was all I needed. You stress men like Daniel, she said coolly. You confuse them. At our age, excitement can be dangerous. I laughed, not because it was funny, because it was insane. You tried to kill him, I said. She leaned closer. No, I reminded him who he really was. My hands curled into fists. That meeting, she continued, I arranged it. Old investors, old pressure, old expectations. I swallowed hard. Jealousy had turned strategic. You're sick, I said. No, she replied. I'm terrified. That surprised me, she sighed. Terrified of being replaced, forgotten, of aging into irrelevance while women like you, she stopped herself. Women like me, poor, real, unpolished. You don't even see it, do you? She snapped. Men like him don't fall for women like you. They borrow you. There it was, pure, burning female jealousy. Not about love, about value. The doctor came out. Family only, he said. Vivian stepped forward. I stepped faster. I'm going in, I said. The doctor hesitated. Are you? I'm the one he asked for, I said firmly. Vivian froze. For the first time, she wasn't sure. Daniel's eyes opened when he heard my voice. Hey, I whispered, grabbing his hand. You scared the hell out of me. He tried to smile. Failed. I'm sorry, he croaked. She was right. I pushed too hard. No, I said. She pushed. His fingers tightened around mine. I should have protected you from this. Tears burned my eyes. I don't need protection, I said. I need honesty. He nodded. Then listen carefully. What he told me changed everything. Vivian hadn't just leaked stories. She'd threatened lawsuits, board votes, financial ruin. She told him I'd destroy his legacy, that I was using him. That younger women always do. She said you'd leave me the moment things got hard, he whispered. I kissed his hand. I'm here. Outside the glass wall, Vivian watched. Her face cracked. Just a little. That night, she made her biggest mistake. She posted. A long, emotional post about losing the love of her life and being betrayed by a younger woman who climbed using kindness as a ladder. She didn't name me. She didn't have to. Women knew, and women responded. Not how she expected. She sounds jealous, not heartbroken. Why blame another woman instead of letting go? Respectfully, this reads insecure. The tide shifted. Female audiences smell jealousy faster than sharks smell blood. Vivian tried to spin it. Too late. The next morning, Daniel made a call. Then another, then another. By noon, the board was shaking. By evening, Vivian was removed pending investigation. She showed up at my door, unannounced, uninvited, unhinged. You think you won, she screamed. You took everything from me. I stayed calm. No, I said. You handed it over. You're nothing without him. I stepped closer. And you're nothing without control. Her eyes filled with tears, not sad tears, rage tears. I loved him first, she hissed, and I loved him honestly, I replied. That broke her. She slapped me, hard. Silence filled the hallway. Then my neighbor opened her door. Vivian backed away, shaking. This isn't over, she whispered. I nodded. You're right. Because now, it was bigger than jealousy. It was about consequences. Daniel recovered, slowly, but something else healed too. The illusion that powerful women are always secure. Sometimes, the most dangerous jealousy comes from women who had everything and still weren't enough for themselves. And Vivian? She wasn't done. She was planning one final move, one that would force me to choose between love and walking away with my dignity intact. The offer that poisoned everything. I didn't sleep that night, not because of fear, because of clarity. When jealousy stops screaming, it starts planning, and Vivian was very quiet. The call came the next morning, unknown number. I almost ignored it, almost. Miss Carter? A man asked politely. This is Mark Reynolds, legal counsel for Vivian Hale. My stomach dropped. Lawyers don't call to apologize. She'd like to meet, he said. Privately. No, I replied without hesitation. There was a pause. Before you decide, he continued calmly, she's prepared to make you an offer. An offer. That word tasted wrong. I'm listening, I said. We met at a hotel lounge across town. Neutral ground. Vivian arrived first. No makeup this time. Hair pulled back. Controlled. Dangerous calm. She didn't look defeated. She looked focused. You look tired, she said. So do you, I replied, sitting down. She smiled thinly. Let's skip the pretending. Good. She slid a folder across the table. Inside, numbers. Big numbers. Life-changing numbers. Take this, she said. Leave Daniel quietly. My breath caught. Excuse me? You disappear, she continued. No interviews, no posts, no explanations. I take the scandal, he recovers, everyone wins. I laughed, a short, sharp sound. You think this is about money? She leaned in. Everything is about leverage. You don't love him, I said. You want to own him. Her eyes flashed. I built that man. I protected him when no one else would. You controlled him, I corrected. She stiffened. That's what powerful women do, she snapped. We don't sit around waiting to be chosen. And when he chose someone else? I asked softly. Silence. Then venom. Younger women don't understand loyalty, she said. You take. You don't invest. That hurt, because it was designed to. Female jealousy doesn't attack facts, it attacks worth. You're afraid, I said. Of what? Of being replaced by someone who doesn't need power to be loved. Her jaw tightened. You think he'll stay? She said coldly. When the press tears you apart? When they call you a gold digger, a social climber, a distraction? I don't care, I said. She smiled again, that same predator smile. Daniel does. She stood up. 1 week, she said. After that, I go public, with everything. Messages, photos, half-truths, enough to destroy you. She leaned down, whispering, and he'll blame himself for bringing you into it. Then she walked away. I didn't cry, not then. I went straight to the hospital. Daniel was sitting up, reading emails, pretending nothing was wrong. I sat across from him. We need to talk, I said. He looked up. You're scaring me. Vivian made me an offer. His face drained of color. I told him everything. The money, the threat, the deadline. When I finished, he stared at the wall for a long time. She's always believed love is a transaction, he said quietly. Then he looked at me. I won't survive losing you, he said. That broke me. Listen, I said, holding his face. I won't be bought, but I won't let her destroy you either. He shook his head. I'm done running. Then we fight smart, I replied. How? I smiled. The kind of smile women give when they stop being polite. We let her underestimate me. That night, I made a decision. I didn't call a lawyer. I didn't post. I didn't warn anyone. Instead, I accepted Vivian's meeting request for one final conversation. But this time, I wasn't going in unarmed, because jealousy makes women reckless, and reckless women leave evidence. App works best when she thinks she's winning. Vivian chose the place. That told me everything. A private art gallery, glass walls, soft lighting, expensive silence. She wanted to feel superior. Women like her always do. I arrived 5 minutes late on purpose. Power shifts in silence. She was already seated, legs crossed, wine untouched. You came, she said, surprised. I said I would, I replied calmly. That doesn't mean I agreed. Her lips curved into a slow smile. Smart girls negotiate. I sat across from her and placed my phone face down on the table. Not recording. Not obviously. Confidence makes liars careless. I'll be direct, she said. Daniel is weak right now. Emotional men make bad decisions. And jealous women make worse ones, I replied. Her eyes narrowed. Careful, she warned. I leaned back. You gave me 1 week. I'm here on day 3. That should tell you something. She took a sip of wine. That you're scared. No, I said softly. That I'm prepared. She slid another folder toward me. Bigger numbers. Greed bait. You walk away today, she said, and I'll double it. No drama, no humiliation. I opened the folder slowly, then closed it. Tell me something, Vivian, I said. Do you actually believe Daniel would forgive you after this? Her jaw tightened for half a second. Enough. He'll thank me later, she snapped. Men always do. I tilted my head. You don't miss him. Her eyes flickered. You miss winning. Silence. I continued. You didn't lose him to me. You lost him because control stopped working. She slammed her glass down. You think you're special? No, I said. I think I'm inconvenient. That hit harder. She leaned forward, voice low. I could destroy you. I know, I replied. And you still came? Yes. Why? I smiled. Because here's the truth women understand better than men. The most dangerous moment isn't when a jealous woman is angry. It's when she's convinced she's already won. I want protection, I said. Her eyebrows lifted. From what? The press, your friends, your narrative. She laughed. You want me to protect you from myself? Yes. And why would I do that? I leaned closer because you don't want Daniel knowing how far you're willing to go. Her face went still, dead still. I stood up. Enjoy the wine, I said. I'll give you my answer tomorrow. She grabbed my wrist. Hard. You don't get to control this, she hissed. I looked down at her hand, then into her eyes. You just touched me in a room full of cameras, I said quietly. Her grip loosened. Too late. I walked out without looking back. In the car, my hands were shaking. Fear always comes after courage. I opened my phone, sent one message. We have enough. The reply came instantly. She took the bait. Vivian thought this was still about money, about power, about humiliation. She had no idea the story was about to change. Because jealous women don't lose when they're loud. They lose when they underestimate another woman who's done being polite. She didn't lose control. She lost the audience. The leak didn't explode. It dripped. That's how real damage happens. Slow, quiet, unstoppable. By morning, Daniel's phone wouldn't stop vibrating. Texts, missed calls, unknown numbers. He sat across from me at the kitchen table, untouched coffee between his hands. "Something's wrong," he said. I didn't answer. I slid my tablet toward him. A private blog post, no names, no accusations, just facts, timelines, screenshots. Contracts blurred just enough to feel dangerous. And one sentence that cut deep: power doesn't corrupt love, it exposes who never had it. Daniel swallowed hard. "Is this about Vivian?" "It's about patterns," I said. "People are good at recognizing those." By noon, the story had legs. Influencer accounts reposted it. Anonymous comments filled in blanks Vivian thought were buried. Former assistants, ex-partners, quiet women with loud memories. She wasn't trending yet. Worse, she was being discussed. Jealous women hate one thing more than losing a man: losing control of the narrative. Vivian called. I didn't answer. She texted. "You crossed a line." I waited 10 minutes, then replied, "You drew it." Daniel paced the room. "I didn't know she did all this." "Of course you didn't," I said. "She protected you from the parts of herself she didn't want you to see." His voice cracked. "Did she ever love me?" I met his eyes. "She loved how you made her feel powerful." Silence. Truth is heavy. At 4:17 p.m., her assistant resigned. At 5:02 p.m., a board member requested an emergency meeting. At 6:30 p.m., Vivian went private on every platform. That's when fear stops being theoretical. She finally showed up, unannounced, standing at my door like she belonged there, designer coat, perfect hair in the eyes. "Cracks you planned this," she said. "No," I replied calmly. "I prepared for it." "You manipulated me." "No," I corrected. "I let you reveal yourself." Her voice shook. "You think people care about the truth?" "No," I said. "They care about consistency, and yours finally broke." She stepped closer. "You think you won?" I shook my head. "This isn't a competition." "Then what is it?" "A mirror." She slapped me. The sound echoed. For half a second, the room froze. Then I smiled. Not because it didn't hurt, because now she'd confirmed everything. Daniel stepped between us. "Get out," he said. She stared at him, really stared. And for the first time, she saw it. She'd already lost him. As the door closed behind her, Daniel whispered, "What happens now?" I looked at my phone. Notifications climbing. Whispers turning into headlines. "This," I said, "is the part where jealous women stop whispering and start unraveling." And somewhere across the city, Vivian was realizing the cruelest truth of all. She didn't lose because she was jealous. She lost because she underestimated a woman who knew exactly how jealousy works. Final chapter. Next, Chapter 10, where consequences land, love is tested. Chapter 9, she didn't lose control. She lost the audience. The leak didn't explode. It dripped. That's how real damage happens. Slow, quiet. Quiet woman always wins. The fallout didn't sound like fireworks. It sounded like silence. The kind that follows when the truth has already done its job and there's nothing left to argue about. 3 days later, Vivian resigned. No announcement, no apology tour, just a dry press release buried under market news. People didn't cheer. They nodded. Because when a jealous woman falls, the world doesn't gasp. It understands. Daniel and I sat on the porch that evening, watching the sun melt into the horizon like it was tired of pretending. "I don't know who I am without all that noise," he said. I handed him a glass of iced tea. "You'll find out," I said. "Men usually do, after the wrong woman stops talking." He smiled weakly. "You're not angry?" "I was," I said honestly. "Anger is just grief wearing combat boots." He laughed. That was new. The media tried to make me the villain, the other woman, the strategist, the ice queen. They wanted a fight. I gave them none. Because the most dangerous thing to jealous people isn't revenge, it's indifference. A week later, an envelope arrived, no return address. Inside was a handwritten note. Vivian's handwriting, sharp, controlled, still trying to dominate the page. Open quote, "You think you're better than me. You think you won because you stayed calm. but you'll always be watching your back. Close quote. I folded the paper, then laughed. Because that's how you know someone lost, when they think fear is still currency. Daniel watched me drop it into the fireplace. Don't you want to keep it? He asked. For what? I replied. Souvenirs are for people who missed the war. Here's the truth nobody likes to say out loud. Jealous women don't hate other women. They hate the version of themselves they could never become. The calm one, the steady one, the woman who doesn't beg, doesn't chase, and doesn't need an audience. Months passed. Daniel rebuilt his life slowly. No flashy moves, no grand speeches, just consistency. That's how trust comes back. Not with promises, but with patterns. One afternoon he asked, "Why didn't you expose her earlier?" I looked at him over my reading glasses. Because people don't believe warnings, I said. They believe outcomes. We never became what gossip wanted us to be. No whirlwind romance, no headline love story. We became something quieter. Two grown people choosing peace over performance. That scares jealous folks more than betrayal ever could. The last time I saw Vivian was accidental. Airport lounge. She didn't recognize me at first. Different posture, less armor, more emptiness. Then our eyes met. She froze. I smiled. Not smug, not victorious, just complete. She looked away first. That told me everything. As my flight boarded, I thought about all the women watching stories like ours, the ones swallowing their instincts, the ones told to be louder, meaner, more aggressive to survive. Here's what I'd tell them if I could lean through the screen. You don't win by being louder than a jealous woman. You win by being steadier than her fear. Some people lose love, some lose reputation, but the real loss is when you realize too late that the woman you tried to break was never fighting you at all. She was simply waiting for you to reveal yourself. And that's how it ends. Not with shouting, not with revenge, but with the quiet, undeniable truth. The calm woman always outlasts the jealous one.